Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here with me today. My name is Evelyn and today we're going to be talking about going on a gluten-free diet. So I'm going to be sharing my experiences and my results. Now I'm not a dietitian or a doctor. I'm just going to be sharing my experiences. So if you're thinking about going on a gluten-free diet, please make sure you talk to a dietitian or your doctor or you do your own research. The last thing you want to do is for you to get any health issues. And you might be wondering, what does this have to do with creating a positive lifestyle? I'm going to be sharing with you how this change impacted my life, the ups and downs that went with it, and how this was one of the first steps I did to really create and move towards my positive lifestyle. So yeah, hopefully you can relate to it. But if you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments, and please subscribe and hit that notification bell button. Okay, so I want to say in 2019 is when I started getting these digestive issues. I was always feeling nauseous and just having a lot of stomach issues that I will not go into, but it was really impacting my health. And I went about 8 months until I decided to get real help. I kept thinking that maybe it was just something I ate, or if I was lactose intolerant, or that just didn't settle well. Like there was just always an excuse running through my head, which is why I waited too long. I got to a point where it was just really impacting my mental and emotional health. I was starting to feel very fatigued and anxiety driven, and I was always worried and just scared for my overall well-being. So that is when I decided to get help and start that process, which I think was one of the first steps I did to really move towards the kind of life that I want. I decided that this was not acceptable anymore. The way I'm living is just hurting me. I'm not happy. I don't feel any positivity or lightness in my life. Everything just seems so hard. I was starting to become like a recluse, just holed up at home in my room, and I wasn't happy, and I definitely wasn't feeling well. So yeah, that's when I decided to do that, and that was about 8 months, and it took another about 4 months of blood work, stool testing, follow-ups, before we finally found out that I had a severe gluten intolerance. And from there, it was a major life change. Even though I was definitely happy or relieved that we had found an answer, I wasn't happy with the answer. I felt very sad for myself. I had a pity party and I couldn't understand why me. And why is this happening to me? And looking back now, I could see that my health had been suffering for a long time. I wasn't paying attention to what I was eating. I would eat anything and everything, and I enjoy food. I love food, and I would see that I wasn't living the best way. I was eating all the wrong foods. I wasn't getting the nutrition I needed, and I wasn't questioning what I was eating. I had no need to, in a sense. It wasn't until that I started to have severe problems that I started to look at my lifestyle and my overall health. So I'm going to touch maybe like 5 or 6 points on how it helped me and how it could help you. I don't want to say that it will help you because our bodies are different. We all function differently. So for me to say that it will help you a certain way, I can't tell you that. But I can tell you how it's helped me and how it's made me feel. And maybe through your own trial and error, you'll find out the way it'll best help you. So I think the gluten-free diet has been trending for the past few years now. So we're going to talk about weight loss. So for me, I did lose weight. Before that, I was constantly inflamed, bloated, swelled. I guess like I was swelling, and I was in a lot of pain, stomach pain. And once I started my gluten-free diet, a lot of that went away, and I lost a lot of weight. And that's where you have to be careful because a lot of gluten-free products have a lot of sugar and sodium, more than the normal kind of products. So to say that you'll lose weight is totally dependent on you. For me, I did lose weight. I'll touch on a bit more on that later and how that happened. So if you do it right, you can lose weight. But if you don't pay attention to your sugar intake and your sodium intake and like what's in these products, it could lead to possible weight gain. And going on a gluten-free diet has helped my overall well-being. It made me pay attention to what I was consuming on every level. So even though, I always check labels for gluten, I also just check the ingredients. I see what I'm eating and what I'm consuming. It helped me become more health conscious, which I'm so appreciative now because I definitely did not have that before. I never questioned anything or what was in my food, what kind of products or ingredients were in there. So now I pay attention to that and what could help my body or what's hurting it. And so if you're looking to just have a healthier, positive lifestyle, going on a gluten-free diet could definitely help you pay attention to what you're eating and consuming on a daily basis. And one of the reasons why I also do this is because a lot of gluten-free products lack a lot of nutritional value. So this is why it's really important to look at the nutrition and what you're eating, because you don't want to get a nutritional deficiency, which is really easy to do on a gluten-free diet. So looking at ingredients, you're able to see what you're getting or what you're lacking. So this is a great habit to get into, and going on a gluten-free diet can help you get into that diet because you have to pay attention to the labels anyway. So win-win, right? And touching on that key point about nutritional value, this is kind of how I lost weight. I started to eat more fruits and veggies to make up for my nutrition, right? From what I'm lacking from what normal foods would have. And so I'd have to start looking at my fiber, the vitamins and minerals that I'm getting, and that would lead me to eating certain fruits and vegetables and getting more of them. So this is how I kind of lose weight, right? This is how I lost the weight, which leads me to the next point is that my energy levels increased. So that could be like number 5, I think, tip number 5 or point number 5. So before I would always feel very fatigued. I kind of had like fog brain going on. I was very tired all the time. And since now I was eating certain foods to fill in my nutritional gaps and taking certain vitamins, drinking more water, I was able to feel more energized and more, I was able to feel stronger and more alive in a sense, you know, because before that I was always just at home, didn't want to do anything, wasn't feeling well. And now I just felt stronger, like I wanted to do more and I was enjoying my foods. And that's a big plus. So your energy levels can increase if you're eating the right foods and getting the right gluten-free products for you. And another way it's helped me is that I've started to cook more at home. So I do a lot more grocery shopping, I cook more at home, and it just brings, excuse me, I don't know what that was. And it just brings the family together. And when I make new recipes or try something new, it's always a big plus when it tastes good and doesn't make me feel like bloated or sluggish. Like I don't really experience much food coma. So I've stopped, you know, eating out as much, wasting my money out there, and cooked more at home and have more nutritional meals and know what's actually in my food. So if you're looking to, you know, cook more at home and develop that habit, going on a gluten-free diet has helped me do that. And if you're worried about alternatives, there's so many options now. I pretty much eat anything that I want. If I want a brownie, I just make my own, or I go to a gluten-free bakery and get one there. If I want pasta, like the other night, I just had shrimp and pasta with some vegetables. It's so good, all gluten-free. And there's so many options. So you just have to like find the right places to get those ingredients or those products, or you can just make it at home and it comes out just as good. People think sometimes that gluten-free meals are bland or like tasteless. Not the case. There's so many seasonings out there that are gluten-free, taste delicious. Just gotta do it right, cook it, put it together, go to the right gluten-free restaurants, and it's so good. Sometimes it's even better than the normal stuff, to be honest. Like I hear my family tell me all the time, like, wow, that was so much better than the original stuff. And they stick to the gluten-free one because it's just so good. And another topic, if you're worried about the financial aspect of it, now I will say gluten-free products on their own do cost a bit more. They're always $1 to like $5 more, depending on what you're getting. But for me, it didn't make much of a difference because I did have to cut out a lot of food, or you will have to cut out a lot of food. So you won't be buying certain things anymore, and you won't be going to certain restaurants anymore. You know, gluten's in a lot of like rye, wheat, barley. So a lot of alcohols, beers are out of the picture. So there's only certain bars or places you can go to. So it kind of evened out for me. We stopped going to certain places and we started cooking more at home and buying the ingredients that we need. So I will say at first, when you're starting out, you will experiment with a lot of products and there's going to be a lot of them that you don't like. So you might find yourself throwing them out or just donating them. And that's where it can be costly in the beginning, because I know I went through that. We went through a lot of money in the beginning trying to figure out what we liked and didn't like. So it was a lot of trial and error. But now that we're more experienced and we know the kind of restaurants that we like, the kind of drinks and foods that we like and gravitate towards, especially certain brands, we find ourselves not throwing out as much food, not wasting as much food or money in that sense. I guess you have to look at your finances and your lifestyle, your way of living, and see how that's going to impact you. I will say that socially, your social life might look a little different, especially if your friends or family members are not gluten-free or not doing that diet with you. Um, you might find yourself not being able to eat with them or drink with them because of your certain like lifestyle. But I wouldn't say that's really impacted me. A lot of times my friends and family members are willing to try new places or go to a different restaurant and to accommodate me. Like, it's not a big deal. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but when I first started, you know, going out and I had this new diet, I used to be so embarrassed and like so ashamed to ask, what was in the food or how they prepared it, even though it's for my well-being. I had a hard time asking. Now I don't have that problem anymore. So when I go out, I just really make sure I'm adamant about, my allergy and that, I'm asking because of my health. Um, but I think in that sense, like, you might experience that maybe when you go out socially with like friends and stuff like that. But I think, over time you'll get more confidence with it, and you'll also gravitate towards certain places and foods. So it's not something really to worry about, I think, in the long run. I have a hummingbird feeder in the front of my window of my bedroom, and a hummingbird just went up to it. This is the third hummingbird ever. It's been out there for weeks. I don't know if it drank out of it or not, but I'm so excited. I love hummingbirds. They're so pretty. Oh, that just happened. And it's on film. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So if anything, I think going on a gluten-free diet has actually expanded me a bit more. It's opened my mind to other opportunities. There's other restaurants I would never have tried if it wasn't for my gluten-free allergy, or gluten-free allergy, for my gluten allergy. So you definitely get to experiment a bit more and go out there and try different places. So that's a plus side. But yeah, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. And on top of that, you can share your experience with me. I would love to be your new best friend and relate to certain things. So it'd be fun to have some other gluten-free friends. Oh, and that's another plus. It's like, if you start this diet for whatever your reason is, you'll see a lot of your other friends or family members also join. My partner loves a lot of the products that I buy now that are gluten-free. He enjoys it. He pretty much has a gluten-free diet. He does have one or two products in the house that are not gluten-free, but that's it. Everything else in the house is gluten-free. He goes to the same restaurants I go to and pretty much orders the same thing I order. And like, he loves it. Like, he loves how they taste and how they make him feel. So that's a plus too. You kind of impact those. Oh, Rocky, you scared me. They kind of impact those. You impact those around you as well. So yeah, you're in control of your life. Okay, if you want a lasting change, whatever that change is, if you want a more healthy, positive lifestyle, you gotta do that first step. Sometimes it might be messy, it might be hard, you might not want to do it, or it might be uncomfortable. But lasting change only happens through action. And for those of you who want a positive lifestyle, you gotta start. You know, it's good that you do affirmations if you write and journal, but you gotta put more action in. You gotta do the things that will help you feel good, right? So until next time, please subscribe. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Share your story with me. I want to know your experience as well. I'd love to have new friends to share this with. That way we can relate to each other. And until next time, please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.